Okay. So without further ado, we will begin with sort of the brief introductory comments from our panelists, and we'll begin with Imam Anas. So please.
Hi, and very honored to be here tonight. I guess I'll just give a quick introduction into the religion of Islam. Islam means submission to the will of God. And of course, when we say God, it means the creator. So we believe that he is the creator of everything in the universe. So submission to the will of God entails two things. We submit to his decree. Whatever he decrees upon us, we submit, and we do not object to his decree. And we also submit to his commandments, to his orders, which are revealed in the form of the Quran, the revealed text on Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the spoken tradition of Prophet Muhammad himself. Now, Islam being a concept, because we say it means submission, it does not belong to a man or a tribe. So we're not Mohammedan, for example, even though you see some references to that early on, like the founding fathers referring to Muslims in this country as Mohammedans. Likewise, we're not a tribe. We're not just Arabs. Actually, you see that Islam is almost in every country on earth. So Islam really is a concept, and I think this is maybe one of the unique things about Islam. And therefore, we say that all the prophets of God, beginning from Noah, including Abraham, Isaac, Ishmael, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, we say all of them were Muslims in that sense. The fact that they have submitted to one God. And we believe that he is the only God. He is the same God, not a different God. And he is the source of all these revelations. Therefore, Muslims have to believe in the Torah. They have to believe in the gospel. And, of course, they believe in the Quran. We believe that the Quran is the final revelation to a prophet or a messenger. Now, this is the theological part. And obviously, for someone to be a Muslim, there are other foundations of faith. Like we believe in the angels, we believe in the last day, the day of judgment. We believe in the decree of God, the fact that he controls the universe. He controls what happens around us. Of course, the other part is the practical part. And that is what we do every day as Muslims. There are two parts here. One part is the worships, the acts of worship. As some of you might know, for example, Muslims worship God 5 times a day. They pray in a very unique manner, including bowing and prostration. And we have other acts of worship, such as fasting the month of Ramadan, going to Hajj, which is a pilgrimage to Mecca, which is happening as we speak. Now, I think part of the reason for this panel tonight is maybe the misconceptions about Islam. And they asked me to address some of these misconceptions. And I tell you, there's absolutely no time to talk about all the misconceptions because we all know there are too many. Perhaps I'll talk a bit about one of them, which I think is most recent. I think some of the misconceptions have been going on for a long time. And please understand, I call it a misconception. That is my opinion. Obviously, to you, it might be a fact, but to me, it is a misconception. I think the most recent one has been this talk about Sharia law, and we saw what happened in Oklahoma. So maybe I'll just give a quick definition of the word Sharia, what it means. Sharia law is nothing but a set of laws, it's really Islamic laws, derived from the original sources of Islam, the Quran and the tradition of the Prophet, peace be upon him. There are many other things, however, that go into Sharia. And in fact, it is interesting that in the Quran it says that every nation has a Sharia, because Sharia means in English a method, a path. It means a set of laws. So every nation has a Sharia. Now, that's just a linguistic meaning. But the meaning in Islamic terminology It refers to the sets of laws that a body of scholars arrive to living in a particular time and place. So unlike what many people think, Sharia is not a set of rigid, strict laws that don't change. Rather, it is a big pool of laws that does change with time and place. It is up to the scholars of a certain country, for example, to look and examine what is going on, the current affair of that country. And they also look at the customs, for example, and they sometimes appropriate those customs into Sharia. So Sharia is very flexible, and it is always open for changes. And it does depend, there's a lot of attention that is given to the state of the people in that country or this country. And there's a lot of room for interpretation and reinterpretation and so forth. I'm sure you might